Hello friends. So today we are starting with transactional, on-demand and distributed computing. So basically these are the fundamental things behind cloud computing. Like transactions happen for communicating with database systems. On-demand computing means as much required. So we'll see detail of that. And distributed computing, how all the things that we had studied till now was connected to the old distributed computing. We'll start with Cap's theorem. Cap's theorem is one of the fundamental theorems of database, and it is basically based on NoSQL that we are going to see next. This Cap's theorem was been invented by Brew, and thus it is been called as Brew's theorem. What does Brew's theorem says? It says it is impossible for a distributed computer system to simultaneously provide following three together with guarantees in single instance. What are the three things? Consistency, availability, and partitioning. In simple words, Cap's theorem says that it is difficult to have three things all together with guarantee. What are the three things? Consistency, availability, and partitioning. So it's difficult and impossible for a distributed computing system to have the three things together, like consistency, availability, and partitioning. Consistency basically means all nodes can view the same data at the same time. Means there are multiple nodes in distributed computing, but all the nodes have the same data at the same time. This is not been possible because there's large size of data set available for big data and for cloud based system. So it's not possible that all the nodes will have the same data at same time. So different node have different data at different time points. So this is why consistency it's a difficult part, and availability means guarantee that every request will receive response for success or failure. So availability means it is guarantee for responding for that the process could be processed or could not be processed, and there will be always a response from server. This is availability, and server tries to maintain 100% availability, which is ideal in especially in case of distributed computing, because distributed computing mainly suffers from failure of different nodes at different time points. So availability of 100% is one of the challenging tasks in distributed computing. Third one is partition. Partition means the system continues to operate irrespective of the loss or failure of a node. So there are multiple nodes, thousands and nodes are working in backend. These all could have working or not working depending on their individual conditions. So sometimes some of the node fails and they lose the data, and that is partitioning. So it means particular node should fail or loss is not being guaranteed sometime. What is availability? How it is different from partition? So availability means a response of a server, whether that demand could be fulfilled or not fulfilled. What is partitioning? Management of particular nodes. We see the Cap's theorem in detail, then we have to see that network partitioning is actually fails many time in distributed computing, because it's not possible to have 100% network guarantee in such large scale computing of basically that distributed computing. Thus there's two possibility happens: cancellation of an operation. This will decrease availability but ensures consistency. If network has been failed, means partition is failed, then what could happen? Cancellation could be happen. In cancellation of that transaction means availability is compromised, but there's consistency. Another possible option when network partition happens is proceeding that transaction, means that transaction is being moving forward and this operation is moving forward. In that case, availability was there, but risk of inconsistency, means if the process forwards even in case of partition failure, then risk of inconsistency would be there. Again, what is consistency? In terms of a basic hardware level, if we see, then consistency means reading of a particular document or some context or some written argument reading of that thing which is stored in a server is the most recent write or error should be provided if there is 100% consistency needed to be maintained. Means every read receive should be having the most recent write. If it can't do that, then there should be an error. Availability means every request received should either have guaranteed response for recent write. This is availability. Means every request should be responded without an error. What is partition at the ground level? Partition means that system or the node particularly keeps on operating despite of any loss of or drop of such message or some node in the distributed architecture. Thus, these are the three basic fundamentals of Cap's theorem. So Cap's theorem says that any two of them could be guaranteed at a single time. It may possible that all the three will happen together. Means it is possible that consistency, availability and partitioning could occur together. It's good. But some of the time network failure happens. Some of the time node failure happens. Some of the times some disaster happens. So in those cases, consistency, availability and partitioning may not be available at the same time. So the three things could not be guaranteed according to the Cap's theorem. In the normal circumstances, consistency, availability and partitioning, all three could be guaranteed at a point. But in reality, this is an ideal case. In case of failures, either of one would be compromised. Either consistency would be compromised, either availability would be compromised, or partition would be compromised. If consistency would be compromised, then availability and partitioning would be there. If availability is compromised, consistency and partitioning would be there. If partition is compromised, then consistency and availability would be there. So don't get confused that all the three can't be met at a particular point of time. All the three could met at a particular point of time. So in some scenario of failures, these three can't be met at a particular point of time. This is Cap's theorem. So why this Cap's theorem applicable? Because of network failure and disasters with the data centers. Thus, basically, most of the time, network partitioning fails. Most of the time. So, availability and consistency would be maintained. In the ACID property, also, in the normal database systems, like if we say not like in the normal database system which follows SQL, it follows ACID property. How it follows ACID property? With guaranteeing the four things together. So how these four things are being guaranteed in the normal SQL system? Because atomicity, consistency, isolation and durability. This is ACID property, and these things is being followed by an SQL system. And in normal SQL system also, consistency is given more priority as compared to availability. Means consistency would be given more priority over availability in the normal database systems which follows ACID property. Next, if we see more detail of NoSQL where this CAPS theorem is applicable, means CAPS theorem is mainly applicable on NoSQL type of database system. What does NoSQL says? Not only SQL, that is some of the database system that works on other than tabular relations or relational databases. So fundamental SQL system works on relational database or tabular relation database systems, but there are few more database systems which actually don't follow this relational database or tabular database system or tabular relations. Then the NoSQL system may also support SQL like query language. NoSQL sometimes follows SQL for providing some of the features of query language. NoSQL database systems has data structure different from the relational database. What are these data structure? These are key value pairs, graph database and document oriented database like this. So NoSQL follows other than relational database systems. What NoSQL follows in those cases? NoSQL follows key value pairs, graph oriented database systems or document oriented database system. High usage in big data and real time web application. So big data and real time web application are the basic need for NoSQL. Now the competitiveness of internet-based computing resources, all these things are being increasing. Size of data is increasing. Real-time results are on demand. So people are less focused toward relational query or some relational database fundamental theorems, and they are giving weightage to availability and speed up of the results. Thus, they basically start following NoSQL systems. Mostly NoSQL databases system follows the CAPS theorem. So there is the relationship between NoSQL and CAPS theorem, and mostly NoSQL system follows CAPS theorem. Hurdles in adaptation of SQL stores. What are the difficulty to adopt NoSQL systems? These are like lower level query language. Some of the lower level query language don't fit with NoSQL systems. In some of the cases, lack of a standardization interface. So because these NoSQL is having no less standardized, so they have difficulty in doing interfacing between different applications. Thus, lack of a standard interfacing. Then huge interface in the existing SQL. Huge investment in existing SQL. What is huge investment in existing SQL? It is like we had already running a company which is using SQL based databases. Now we are thinking that there are hundreds of employees working on the existing SQL technology, and our company is working perfectly fine with the SQL systems. Then why should we move to NoSQL system? So company decide that we are not moving to NoSQL system because we are happy with SQL system, as we had already invested a lot on SQL system. Some of the NoSQL system do not provide all four asset property together. What are these asset property? Atomicity, consistency, isolation, and durability. NoSQL system is basically provided for large data set and fast processing. Thus, they avoid acid properties, and therefore the NoSQL are having low guarantee of providing some of the results accurately as compared to SQL or acid property systems. Please do not confuse acid property, atomicity, consistency, isolation, and durability with CAPS theorem. That is, says consistency, availability, and partitioning. These are the three things which are different from the four things mentioned in the acid property. So don't confuse acid property with CAPS theorem. These are two different things and two different theorems. Only consistency is the thing of database, that there is a correct result for a correct written argument. That is consistency is almost similar in the two theorems, and rest of the things are majorly been different from each other. So NoSQL and CAPS theorem are having different meaning and used for different purpose. So don't try to relate both the things, and keep importance of both the things. Means both acid properties and CAPS theorem both are important in their region or in their area and the field of studies. So both are important. Next we'll see categories of NoSQL databases. First of all, we need to see NoSQL things in more detail, like what are the NoSQL database and what are the NoSQL database. Basically, it is been divided into many subcategories like column oriented and document oriented. These are the two most simple NoSQL database systems. What are these? These column oriented and document oriented are like database management system that stores data by some columns rather than rows. So all the columns should be followed properly as compared to, and given more weightage for the columns as compared to the row what it stores. And for that there is different level of programming happens for each of such database. Column oriented, document oriented, or graph all have different input output mechanism. So this column oriented it is partially different from relational database system. Next, document oriented database system. What it does, it does storing and retrieving and managing of document oriented information. Means it is very semi structured data. What is structured data? Structured data is like a fixed, like in SQL system. So you particularly keep value at a particular cell of having row and column intersection, and it is fixed and it can't be changed. If it is changed, then the meaning of that instance of that database is being changed. But now engineers are feeling more towards non-fixed things, means non-structured things as well. What are non-structured things? Like the text we write on text editor. So mostly we keep on changing the location of the text. If we write a document, then document have first line. No, first line it can't fit in the first line. We change its location to the middle line. So we change the location of that nature language line from first line to the middle line. This is what it means by document oriented information, and it is basically semi structured, not fully unstructured like in nature language. It is having semi structured. What does it mean by semi structured? It has some property of structuring, but it also don't follow strict rules of structuring and gives flexibility for storage of data and retrieving that data and viewing all the data with some different kind of and different type of view systems or some APIs should be there. Then we have to see another type of database like key value database system. So storing and retrieving and managing associated array or keys and value pairs is one of the way of reading and writing data structure. And you have already studied two type of such data structure: dictionary or hash tables or hash map type of things. So what it does, it stores key, and according to that key there is some value for that key, and this is what the key value pair database systems are there. And basically it is usually being followed on object oriented programming. Next we'll see graph oriented databases. What are graph oriented database? It is again simple thing which follows graph structure for semantic query processing of node and edges, and it has a complex way of representing, storing and retrieving data. Key concept of this kind of databases are graph or relationship between edges and nodes. So this has a complex query for storing and retrieving the data, and mostly this is being followed. This kind of database is followed when there is a high interconnectedness between the database system. Next we'll see multi-model database. What are multi-model database? It is simply combination of the above database systems, and multi models are even more complicated than other kind of database that we had studied. And there are various categories and there are various database systems available. Like in column oriented, most famous were HBase. In document oriented, most famous were CouchDB and MongoDB. In key value pair, most famous ones are React, Dynamo. In graph, Neo4j is one of the famous. And in multimodal, it's one of the complex kind of database systems which rarely been used. So these are not that much famous as compared to the above database systems. Next, on-demand computing. It is one of the important requirement feature of the cloud computing. Why we are studying on demand here? Because this is where the transactional database property is being required for providing on demand resources, that is database or computational power to the users. And this CAPS theorem, NoSQL, all these type of NoSQL database and on-demand computing are being related very closely. Then enterprise level computing model. This is actually large size of property or abstraction which is defined for large enterprise systems. These technologies and computing resources are allocated to the organization or individual users on the basis of demand. Computing resources or technology or database system are being allocated for individual user based upon some demands. Then computing resources, what are the computing resources on demand that we are talking about? CPU cycles, bandwidth availability, storage and applications. Then ODC, on demand computing, basically need for heavy bandwidth system, big data or big data computing, storing and retrieving that big data. On demand computing also refers to as utility computing. So utility computing is equal to the on demand computing. What is utility computing? Just first distributed computing came up, then it has been having subset and modified it as grid computing, and then grid computing is being said as on demand, will provide resources on demand, and that is become utility computing. Thereafter in 2008 there's some term coined there all these things could be termed as cloud computing. So utility computing is like mother of cloud computing, or on-demand computing is one of the mother of cloud computing. Thus, most of the concept of cloud computing follows here, such as pay-as-you-go model. What is pay-as-you-go model? It is simply on-demand computing. What is high-performance computing? It is simply feature of on-demand. Illusion of infinite resources. What is that? It is on-demand computing features or utility computing feature. Next, if we see distributed computing as the collection of grid utility and cloud computing. So this is good point to summarize our whole study of cloud computing architectures or cloud computing fundamentals as a distributed computing. Here we can summarize the whole grid computing, on-demand computing, resources, things in terms of distributed computing. It is one of the field of studies for distributed systems like cloud. Then software system in which components located on network computer communicate and coordinate by using message passing. So these are the software systems. For example, cloud computing is one which computes or communicates with the help of SOAP or WSDL and RESTful APIs. So these are the communication medium takes place for messaging and passing messages in cloud computing, and it has been inherited from distributed computing in general. So what is distributed computing in general? It is basically networked computer communication and coordination of different message passing systems for communicating different components of software systems located at different nodes or different locations remotely communicating. This is what distributed computing means. And in cloud computing, SOAP messages or RESTful APIs messages are the basis for communication or message passing. Then the children of distributed computings are grid computing, utility computing, and cloud computing. All these things are the branch of distributed computing. Means distributed computing is the mother of grid computing, utility computing, and cloud computing. Fundamental thing behind this distributed computing is said as remote procedure call. The fundamentally based on remote procedure calls for message queuing and location transparency. Means one of the medium of message passing and communication is remote procedure call in distributed computing. What is a specific word equivalent to remote procedure calls in cloud computing or web services? It is operations. So web service operations are the kind of remote procedure calls. If you heard operation, web service operation, then you assume that it is a kind of remote procedure call. Thus, this is the point where we would like to contribute and conclude the whole cloud computing architecture. And next, I would like to tell these are the references from where the content of this slide is being prepared. So you can go and read on these links or research papers for more detail, for more understanding about what is all the various type of cloud computing architecture that we had studied. Next, I would like to thanks for this part of our lecture and study.